So this week's topic is the best moment in the Tournament of Power.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, as the winner, you get to go first. We need to change this round.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the advantage of winning, that you get to go first.
Mercy.
Yeah. So I was
Go
thinking
on.
about this because there's a lot of good moments in the Tournament of Power, of course. And there's a lot that could potentially be number one. And I was thinking about it. And the one I've picked is potentially not even everyone's favorite. And it might not even be my favorite, if I'm honest, but it's the moment that I think when people think about Swan and Power, it's probably high on the list of first things that come to mind. So, my pick for the best moment is the arrival of Ultra Instinct.
Thought it might be.
Yeah. So that's my choice. And I've picked it because it is a brand new form, new to Dragon Ball Super, well, new to Dragon Ball in general. It was a form that wasn't even really hinted about before it happened, to be honest. There was no real working towards it. There was no hint of Goku's going to turn Ultra Instinct at some point. It was just, it happens, and then Whis like, oh my god, he's done it. He's now Ultra Instinct. I was like, Ultra Instinct? Ah, okay, that's what this is. But yeah, that moment in the show was huge, and at the time it broke Twitter. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was like, oh my god, there's a new form. It's huge. It's during the Tournament of Power. He's just going to go on a rampage and destroy everyone now, which didn't ultimately happen. But the form itself at the time was a big deal. And it happened. You know, Goku was down, and some assumed that he was out. I mean, he obviously wasn't out. It's Goku after all. He is the main character.
Okay.
But he was down in the rubble, out of action, and then you see this beam of white just fill up the screen, and you know he just rises from the ashes like some unhuman being, because you're not supposed to fly in the Tournament of Power, but he just rises from the ashes.
But you forgot to mention the "Here It Comes" from Beerus.
That's true.
It's such a good line.
That's true. But the rule of no flying goes out the window for this point. He rises from the ashes. The looks on everyone's faces of just shock and horror.
But Freezer always knew.
Yeah. But
Zero doubt.
The two faces in particular that really stand out are Whis and Beerus. Beerus, of course, was a bit in shock that, oh my god, he's actually done it. And Whis was in pure delight that it's happened. Two complete contrasts, which was great to see. And yeah, it was just an amazing moment, you know. And then I guess the very short term after that point as well, seeing him basically dance around Jiren and you know, everyone else at the time, Toppo and who else did he dance around? Who's the Dispo? Yeah, he just dance around in the form, and you know he's not talking at all. He's completely silent, and we're just kind of like, what's going on here? He is dodging everything, and it doesn't even seem like he's putting in any effort at all. And it's just like, yeah, the arrival of that form, seeing how it works. The presentation of it as well. I loved the black and white, just the screen being black and white and those tones, because throughout the entire Tournament of Power, it was mainly a lot of purples and greens because of the background. Like the space background was highly prominent throughout, and the stage itself, the browns as well. But this, it completely changed the color palette of the tournament for a short while he was in the form to be purely black and white, which is just great. And the new hair color being like a silvery white, his eyes being white. Yeah, I have my thoughts about the form, whether it was deserved or whether it was rushed. Yes, it was. But that moment itself, the first appearance, yeah. I think that, yeah, that could potentially be the top moment. I think it's hard to rank the moments in the Tournament of Power. There's a lot of strong contenders. But I think this singular moment has a strong chance of being a lot of people's favourites, and that's what I'm going for. That's my pick.
It's definitely one of the titular moments. It is the one that stands out.
Yeah.
It was I was dancing between two, and I
Mm.
couldn't. I couldn't 100% land on one. That was one of them. So you've kind of helped me decide.
I feel like I know your pick. I
Yeah,
know what
you
it's
do.
going to be.
Yeah. All right, let's see if you can guess.
All right, I know what it's going to be because you've mentioned it 100 times before. It's going to be the beam struggle between Kefla and Goku.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
really? Okay,
No,
wow, I'm
it is not
shocked.
the amazing Tony Hawk skate. Um, However, that is amazing. That
Wow,
is the best finisher in almost arguably it's arguably one of the best finishers in Dragon Ball. But
wow.
no,
I am hugely
it
shocked
is
that that's not your pick, but
no,
okay.
no. It is one of the most emotional moments in Dragon Ball.
Oh my, are you going with the death of Roshi?
I am.
Wow, that was my backup option. That was my backup pick.
Yeah, yeah. So I was dancing between the moment of UI
Mhm.
and so the beam wasn't actually either of my choices.
Wow,
Um,
I'm very
yeah,
surprised on that.
yeah. No, it was either UI or the death of Roshi. Um, it was for me. It's probably my favorite moment um, in in the Tournament of Power. I love the
It's my
finisher.
favorite episode in all of Dragon Ball Super. That whole
Yeah,
episode is my favorite.
yeah. I do love that finisher moment, but it is just one good moment. This is an entire scene that I just
Mm.
love. It's just done fantastically well,
Yep.
and it has such a brilliant impact.
Hmm.
It's Roshi at his best in such a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he was such a important part of original Dragon Ball, and then
Hmm.
he just disappears for Z, and then they bring him back in Super in such a powerful way,
Yeah.
and he dominates in this in as a character here,
Hmm.
and he's in this fight. He's knocked out a couple of people. He's done bits, and he's just flexing a little bit, and then he does this, and he's in this fight, and then he just stands up and he takes off sorts his glasses out, and then he's just does Kamehameha, work hard, study well, eat and sleep plenty, the turtle hermit way.
Eat your vitamins. Do your
Yeah,
taxes.
you must master the art of peace and dishing the art of war, and your heart's just swelling.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's just this would be my greatest, most powerful Kamehameha, and oh, you just feel it. It just
Yeah.
you just feel it. And then he just falls, and it's just like and and it's just such a good moment. It's just such a powerful moment.
It is.
And then you've got Goku struggling with like I don't know, Elastic Man, and it's just weird. And it's just you've got Krillin like screaming in the sidelines. You've got
Trying to
this
get back
weird
in the
key
tournament.
CPR, and it's just you're just feeling it. It's like it's a really emotional moment,
Hmm.
and it's I think the only thing that is kind of a disappointment, and I never thought I'd say this is that they didn't kill him.
I know. That's what I was going to mention. Like, it ruins it so much that he didn't die. That would have
Yeah,
been so much. It would have been a much more powerful scene overall if he did just die. But
yeah,
they kind of ruined it by
yeah.
keeping him alive.
But the entire part before that, like as he's doing it, is just like you're just like, yes, Roshi,
Yeah.
come on. You're feeling it, and you're with him the entire way. Just
Hmm.
he's just saying all the right things, and you're watching him just doing the beam. He's just absolutely lacing the dude he's firing on. You don't care about him. You're just watching the powerful Master Roshi. You're seeing you remember who Roshi is.
Yeah.
He's reminding you who he is, and it's such a good scene. I just love it, and it's just such a good throwback. They just did it right,
Yeah.
and I just absolutely love it. And I just got chills, and it was just so unexpected as well.
Hmm.
I remember watching it, and I was just like, "The knot." It's like no way, and it was just like everything that they've done in Super that was something that I was just not expecting to happen.
Yeah.
There was no way. I just thought, because when you see characters die in Dragon Ball and everything like that, to have a character go out in ways like that, and I know they didn't actually do it, which again is a bit disappointing, but for them to go out in such a way, or to even potentially go out in a way, it's like you just see people get blasted away and stuff like that, and to have such, and it's just like it kind of hits,
Yeah.
it hits differently. So it was a really chilling moment, but I just thought it's such a great moment, and it's like you say, it's your favorite episode. It's one of my favorite scenes. It's just one of the best scenes in Dragon Ball and Super for me, and I love it, and that's why it is my pick.
So those are the two picks for the Hall of Fame, and yeah, I'm still shocked that you didn't go with the beam struggle, if I'm honest. That I was so 100% sure you're going to go with that because of the amount of times you've mentioned it.
I love it. It's an amazing finisher. It really is. I mean, it's fantastic. I would argue it's one of the best finishes in Dragon Ball, full stop.
Yeah.
Not just Super, like in Dragon Ball, but it's the move itself. Like, we're talking about an actual moment outright, and this is a scene. It's so yeah. I thought I wanted something with some true impact.
Yeah, you know that the animators were proud of that beam as well because they did like 3 different camera angles for the same thing.
Yeah.
You know they were happy with that one.
But every time I did go,
yeah, it worked. They got their the response that they were hoping for, I guess.
It's the skate though. He's just so good, so
50-50 grind.
I'm 100% watching it after the podcast. Like.
But yeah, I guess those are the 2 picks for this week. We have what was my pick? The reveal of Ultra Instinct for the first time, going up against the death of Master Roshi. So those are the 2 picks. If you want to vote, go check out our social medias down below, go vote in the polls, and we will see next episode who enters the Hall of Fame. But for now, let's move on to the hot take.